My absolute favorite character in Naruto, the big brother that we don't deserve. Today, let's take a look at this 1/6 scale Uchiha Itachi action figure from Rocket Toys. And yeah, welcome to Webuu Collection Speed Review. The whole box weighs around 1.1 kilograms. It's very well protected with a total of 3 layers. You need to be patient when opening because there's a lot of tapes. The figure stands 31 centimeters by itself and 34 centimeters with the stand. Scale-wise, Itachi is supposed to be 178 centimeters and standing next to Luke Skywalker, who's supposed to be 175. I would say it's pretty accurate. The body of the figure is pretty decent. It has a pretty good flexibility overall. Joints are pretty tight, which makes it easier to pose. But do be careful. The right hip joint of mine seems glued up. It cannot be bent to the side. So there's definitely some quality control problems here. The color matching is not too off. The accessories like the head sculpts and hands are a bit more pale, but overall not a bad paint job. The fabric choice is very much on point. The inside shinobi clothing is soft and stretchy, barely leaves wrinkles. The ankle wrap uses a rougher fabric which helps the mobility and minimize the creases. The cloak is really well done. They use a more silk-like fabric on the inside. It does prevent scratching and makes it easier to put it on and off. The outside seems like a normal black fabric, but I realize it's quite smooth on the surface. This will help with the dusting problem and makes it way easier to swipe off the dust. The Akatsuki Cloud logo looks like a thin print job, but actually the material is thicker, yet very bendable. The edges of the cloak are wired, including the cuff of the sleeves. The cloak has a very practical magnetic feature. The only problem is that there's a big piece of round magnet on the top of the collar, which is very visible. But you can totally bend the collar a bit outwards to hide it. The stitching is not bad either. I only found threads coming out of the shinobi sleeves, and that's it. For accessories, there are 3 head sculpts in total, a necklace, 4 pairs of exchangeable hands, another hand with a crow on it, a bamboo hat, 3 shuriken, 1 kunai, 1 pair of regular Sharingan eyeballs, 1 pair of Mangekyo Sharingan eyeballs, and another Mangekyo eyeballs with the veins. Let's start with the bamboo hat, which is pretty well made, with every single fabric being wired, but it will take you some time to post the perfect wind effect. The red little piece is not wired, since I think it should be heavier than the fabric. The inside of the hat has a decent amount of foam, which prevents scratching of the head sculpt. It doesn't really stuck to the head, so don't push too much when you're posing it. Just gently put it on and it stays pretty well. The layer of wash on mine isn't really well done. There are 2 round marks for some reason. Both the shuriken and kunai are made out of some sort of metal, but the shuriken is way better made judging by the highlight paints on the sharp edges. The handle of the kunai is just simply terrible, but since that's a part to hold, I guess it wouldn't bother too many people. The head sculpts are amazing. Probably the best anime head sculpts I've ever seen. It captures Itachi's face perfectly and made it into a real 3D head sculpt. There's the regular, the Amaterasu bleeding one, and the heartbreaking smiling one, which comes with exchangeable hair pieces, both front and the ponytail, to match the original scene perfectly. The best part of these head sculpts, or the whole figure, are the exchangeable eyeballs. The figure comes with a metal clip which is used to snatch the eyeballs out of the head sculpt, and a little tube which you use to put back the eyeballs, but according to the instruction you do need to spin a little bit when putting it in, so do be careful with it. I am also amazed with how perfect the Sharingan patterns are placed. The thickness of the resin on top of the pupil is also perfectly polished. Very, very well done. Of course, the eyes are movable, but the handles are quite tricky, and I would suggest to first avoid using your nails, second, avoid pushing it all the way to the edges, or you might have to spin it all the way around to have control again. The eyeballs do not glow in the dark, however, it gives a good glow of red when it's being flashed by UV lights. The crow on the hand is another classic symbol of Itachi's genjutsu. The details of the feathers are very well sculpted while remaining a lightweight, which makes the posing very easy. Personally, I think the red paint of the crow's eyes could be a little bit more luminous. Or maybe a drop of resin would do the job. Like the paint of the nails, which have a very nice reflections of highlights. And the rain on the left hand is another great touch of detail, where the word shoe is nicely printed. The stand also has shoe, the symbol of Itachi, written on it, which makes me think they might release more members of the Akatsuki. I guess we'll see. While I'll show you some poses with different handsets, I want to say that even though you hear me kind of complain a lot about this figure, but actually I think this figure is pretty awesome. I've been collecting action figures for over 10 years, and I'm glad to see smaller companies like Rocket Toys can actually produce licensed anime action figures. Despite the quality control and little flaws that many may have like mine, I sincerely encourage fellow collectors to be more forgiving and patient. We surely would love to see the market gets bigger, which will provide more options for us. For those who are wondering, this piece had an around $210 US pre-order price, but now it's skyrocketing. They also have a Madara, which is released, and a Kakashi, which is not yet released. I would definitely look into the Kakashi one. Hopefully I can bring you guys more reviews like this. Here are my ratings of this figure. Comment below about anything, and I look forward to talk to you guys. Subscribe to our channels on different platforms. I will leave details in the description. Thank you guys for the support, and see you guys soon.